admitted without parents or guardian.
When the wall I'm standing next to blows up and all this blood comes out. Oh, hi. Welcome to the Drive-In Asylum double feature tonight. Fans of fantastic films, we are so happy you chose to join us on this Saturday evening for two killer elevator features and two special guests, Re-Gor and My-Kill, both from FRIGHT LOUNGE. And, of course, me and Sam Panico. Hi, Sam.
Hey, Bill. How you doing?
All right. We got two special guests tonight.
I'm so excited about it. Welcome, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for putting my face over the Dr. Five. I mean, my name over the Dr. Five's face.
I do know you.
Yes, you do. That's awesome. We're glad to be here.
Yeah, very cool.
And by the way, folks, I plan on staying up the entire time this time.
Well, that's the plan. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, we're not watching Werewolf versus Vampire Woman this time, so maybe that's why Roger or Re-Gor fell asleep. Sorry.
Sounds pretty hot. Vampire Woman wasn't enough to keep you awake? Is it just awful?
I don't know.
I got no really.
Oh, you missed it, so you don't know. Okay.
Yeah. I have seen it since because I covered it on our upcoming 13 Days of Hell-October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that particular day, I just, I don't know. Because if I remember correctly, Bill, didn't you just cut back to the camera and it was just my microphone?
Yeah, I could see that. I can't remember if I actually put it live over the air, but I put up a picture. Remember, we found an article about a woman who did interviews in the newspaper saying she starred in Werewolf versus Vampire Woman, and it was, period. So it was when it was out in theaters, and it wasn't her. It was like Patty somebody or other. This actress was definitely not the vampire who was Patty. What's her last name, Sam? I'm forgetting.
Shepard?
Patty Shepard.
Oh.
This was not Patty Shepard. It was somebody else. And I put her picture up in your box for the third segment. You became her.
That's funny. Well,
She
today,
said as much as you would have asleep.
I've changed my gender back to where I started.
And, I don't know what movie we're doing first this week because I in the ads I put the lift, and then when I programmed this and made the intro reel, I put the trailer for Dark Tower. So I don't know. It's up to you guys.
I was under the impression we were doing Dark Tower first, but I don't really necessarily. I'm not going to cry about it if we don't do it that way.
Either way is fine with me.
Yeah, I think someone should take that decision out of my hands because I clearly don't know what to do with it.
Dark Tower first.
Dark Tower, yeah.
Dark Tower it is. Now, Sam, you lied to us. You said you weren't going to be on the program this week, but here you are. I sure did.
I have COVID, so yes, I am home, stuck in Pittsburgh, while my wife is in Salt Lake City enjoying the Halloween weekend. So that is where I am. I've been in a basement for the last few days.
That sucks, man. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But you're feeling okay, right?
I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm not. My voice will go every once in a while, and I'm a little more tired than normal, so I couldn't stay up. Could only stay up till 3 last night, not 6. So, well, it's a little things.
Well, we're certainly glad that you're here. We're not glad you have COVID, but
Yeah.
and we're certainly not glad you had to miss your trip, which is
I know. I'm
a real bummer.
very sad, but I know. I will say, Becca said to tell everybody that the drugstore from Halloween 4 is getting knocked down, and she actually got a brick from it because there was a pile of bricks from the building where they had knocked one of the walls down. So she actually got one of the bricks from the wall, and so she hit all the 4 and 5 locations today, and tomorrow she's going to do the 6 locations. So she got to see a lot of really cool stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really easy to find stuff. So she had a blast. So I was getting FaceTime calls all day yesterday showing me this stuff. So pretty cool.
Nice. And this was in Halloween 4?
Halloween 4 and 5. 4, 5, and 6 are all filmed around Salt Lake City. Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, I've been to Pittsburgh. I mean, obviously you guys live around that area, and it's like we went to see the cemetery from Night of the Living Dead, and the center of town there that has all the plaques for those movies, and I think the Crazies as well.
Yep, Evans City. Yeah, that's about 10 minutes from where I grew up. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. So and obviously Creep Show's here, and all the Romero stuff's here, but there's a lot of other stuff too. There's the Sorority Row remake was done in Homestead. There's tons of stuff. I have a whole article on my site of Pittsburgh film movies. I kind of went nuts trying to find Pittsburgh film stuff a couple of years ago that isn't all the ones that people usually talk about.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I'm kind of
Mothman props. Go ahead.
I'm psyched for these movies tonight. Yeah, The Dark Tower I had never heard of before. I just happened across it. We took Bill and Mike and I were talking about, what could we do, and I wanted to do what's the one I said, Bill? The one that's batshit crazy.
Nightmare City.
Nightmare City, yeah, but that wasn't available on a free app anywhere.
And I said we could never do that movie on the program without Sam. That would just be mean.
Right.
The cool thing about I love that movie. The really cool thing about Dark Tower is it has 2 directors. It's Ken Wiederhorn from Shockwaves, and Freddie Francis replaced him, which is crazy. This is Freddie Francis's last directed movie. And also it has 2 odd alternate titles. It's The Curse 5 in the US is what it was released as, and Demon 7 The Inferno in Japan. It has nothing to do with either of the Curse movies. None of the Curse movies have anything to do with each other, nor do other than Demons 1 and 2 have anything to do with each other.
Right.
But I kind of love that.
Now it was only released on video, wasn't it? It was not theatrical.
Yeah, but there's different covers that they tried with that. So and my favorite Ken Barnett is the director who's listed, but that's obviously a made up name. My other favorite thing about this movie is Jenny Aguilar's outfits are out of control. She has some of the goofiest, I can't even explain. They're not. I think they're supposed to be sexy. I don't know what they are. They're those are my favorite kind of outfits where they've kind of gone beyond into this other world. So I'm pretty excited about it. And I love Michael Moriarty. He's you would think after his last High Rise, dealing with a high rise and window washers in Q, he'd be like, yeah, never again. But here he is. He's back. And it's a whole other haunted high rise that he's doing.
I just want to say I was very surprised. I didn't realize Freddie Francis was still directing around 1987, because he'd done a lot of Hammer and Amicus films. So
he had moved into mostly being a DP at that point. He won an Oscar for Glory after this. That's probably his best known cinematographer credit.
Right.
He got kind of bored making the same horror movies over and over again, as he said. So this is also a Sandy Howard production. And Sandy Howard followed the Canon model of like literally just throw out as many posters as you could until you got people to buy it. And this is one of the ones. Blue Monkey's another one. If you guys have seen Blue Monkey, which is closer to Aliens and has no monkey. It's not really
Blue Monkey.
Yeah. So
I
that's
love
from
that
the
movie.
same era. Yeah. He was.
It's so stupid, but it's
Yeah.
so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I like that there's psychics in this. I don't know what the hell's going on with this movie. So that's kind of what I dig about it.
So it was 2 directors, but only 1 screenwriter for this?
I believe so, yeah.
I've got 4 screenwriters.
Oh wow.
From I mean, take it with a grain of salt. I think it was either Wikipedia or IMDb, because we got Robert J. Avrich, who did Body Double, Ken Blackwell, who did Triumphs of a Man Called Horse, the one with Richard Harris. Oh, I'm sorry, 3. And then, of course, Ken Wiederhorn. Or is it Wiederhorn, who did Shockwaves, Meatballs 2, and Return of the Living Dead 2.
Good for you for looking it up. I sometimes I forget the internet exists, and I just ask random questions like, if only I could know what that is. And then, like I did when I was growing up.
Somehow impart this information.
I did that one time on...
Actually, Mike,
Facebook
I wanted to ask you if you recognized Jenny Agutter, who's in this.
Yes.
The female.
I've seen her in several things, but the thing that popped into my head was American Werewolf in London. She's the nurse when the guy wakes up in the hospital.
Yep.
Sure is.
And I know I've seen her in a couple of other things. I just can't name them.
She was on a couple episodes of The Bionic Man. I know you've been rewatching those.
Oh, that's right. I love her. I think she's gorgeous.
Isn't she in Logan's Run?
She was in Logan's Run. Yep.
And Dominique is Dead in 1979.
She's I don't know. She's got something. She's got a quality.
No, I gotta say, Michael Moriarty, to me, I'll always just associate him with It's Alive. I know he's been on, Law and Order, and of course Q, the Winged Serpent, but I always thought he was in all the It's Alive movies, and when I did the research on this, he's only in part 3.
Mm-hmm. With Karen Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is that like, am I the only one that just associates him with all 3 films, or?
Yes, you're the only one, Roger.
I guess you are, because I don't know. I never even think about the 3rd one. I know that's blasphemy because Karen Black's in it, but I always kind of forget about that one. I only remember the ones from the 70s.
Jenny Agutter also in Child's Play too. That's another film she's in. And China 9, Liberty 37, the cowboy movie. And a movie I really like her in is I Start Counting, which is kind of thriller, sort of genre. It's pretty great too.
Yeah.
And she's in the Avengers movies now. She was in Winter Soldier and the Avengers. She's done a bunch of stuff.
She's in Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
She's still working. Watch that again.
Q the Winged Serpent was a great role for Michael Moriarty, and Siskel and Ebert both loved it.
Oh, did they? Oh, that's funny. I remember when it came out. I saw it in the theater.
Yeah. They gave Q a positive. Well, I think Roger gave it. He recommended it, and Gene said something snarky like, "Wow, it's a good performance in a lousy movie."
He gets to play piano in it, and he's he kind of is just doing whatever he wants, that's what most people get to do in in Coen's movies. There's a lot of just letting Michael Moriarty riff, which is awesome. He's in a lot of movies I dig.
I'm looking at the comments. Is it really a synth new wave band, or are you just saying that sounds
no,
like a good name?
It really is. I knew Vince
is?
would be right on that. That's the first place my mind goes when someone says I Start Counting is the band. I have to remind myself it was a movie first.
I like synth new wave. I'll have to write that down. I Start Counting.
Yeah, they only had one record, I think. They had an album and a couple of singles, maybe 2. They didn't last long, but they turned into a band called Fortran 5. Mm-hmm. They were sort of like a rave band in the 90s. I loved them too. Fortran 5. They were kind of like, remember the Orb? They were like a counterpart to the Orb, sort of like ambient, techno, blah, 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 whatever genre it is. Yeah. I can't be bothered. If it's not Dead or Alive, I don't know what it is.
For fuck's sake, it's not worth it, is it?
It's from fucking Liverpool, man.
Blind.
Another
don't
Michael
even own the
Moriarty
Beatles
movie I
album.
like is Blood Link, the Albert DiMartino movie. It's kind of, he has a twin brother and he has psychic visions of his twin. It's really junky, but it's fun. I don't know if anyone's seen that in the chat.
I think this is the first thing I've ever seen him in outside of Law and Order. Myself.
Really? He's
Oh,
in
wow.
he's in The Stuff too. There's another thing.
Yeah, that's right. If you eat it, it eats you.
It's eating you, really. Really, it is.
And let's not forget that Carol Lindley's in this, who is Nani in the Poseidon Adventure. And
Oh, I love
that
her.
was the elevator in the movie The Elevator in 1974.
She was in The Night Stalker. Somehow Darren McGavin landed her. I don't know how. She was way above him.
Right.
Personality.
And Vigilante
How
with
it-
Forster. I love that movie.
Mhm.
Beware the Blob.
Yeah.
She got ate by the Blob. Not many actors can say that unless you knew Larry Hagman.
Right.
Lots of his friends got ate by the Blob. I think all of his neighbors got eaten by the Blob.
Funny. Was that his only directing gig?
No, he did something else too, and I think he directed an episode of Dallas or two. I don't know.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, he was
May have
Jack
been today.
Harris's neighbor in Malibu or somewhere along the beach. They lived along the beach, and one night Jack Harris showed him the Blob because he had never seen it, and he loved it so much. He's like, I want to do a sequel. And Jack Harris was like, okay. So legend has it, I'm not saying this is true, but legend has it that Jack Harris paid him in weed to make Beware the Blob because everybody in it is stoned. People are smoking on screen in the movie. It's just amazing. It's my favorite Blob movie.
I'll have to check that out. I don't think I've seen that one. And you know, one of the guys that's in this movie too is Theodore. Is it Bickel or Bickel? How do you say that?
I
The
don't
guy who
know.
plays the professor dude, like the gray beard.
I
No,
think so. No, he was. Well, he was Max Gold, whichever guy that was. I can't remember.
Oh.
But I always associated him with exploitation films, and he really wasn't. But he was on an episode of The Amazing Spider-Man. He was like the main guy in I Bury the Living, wasn't he? And
he was in one of the old
the-
Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
On TV.
Yeah.
That's the guy I'm thinking of because I recognized him, but I didn't know from where.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was in the Defiant Ones with Sidney Poitier and Stony Kurtrock. I mean, Tony.
Really?
Yeah, he was nominated for an Oscar for that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Best Supporting.
Oh, and the woman we were just talking about, whose name is escaping me right now,
Karen
Lindley?
Black.
Oh, Karen.
Jenny
Oh.
Aguilar.
Oh, yeah.
Jenny.
She was in some other really well-known movie. I mean, Logan's Run, but then there was also like Flight of the Falcon or some Night of the. There was some really shit. Let me try and look it up again. I remember thinking, "Oh wow, she was in that." Jenny.
The Eagle has landed.
Yes, I think it was that. God, I have so many searches on my stupid.
We want
Anyway.
to remind you that if you're watching tonight, remember to click like on the video. And if you really like us, share. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the channel, Groovy Doom. You won't regret it, honestly.
It's groovy, man.
Don't forget that Kevin McCarthy's in this too, from
I was just going to say.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers and everything else. He shows up.
Piranha.
Yeah, he shows up in tons of stuff. Always going wild. So he's one of my favorites. Too.
I thought it was ironic that he plays a character named Fred Francis in The Howling.
Then he worked.
Almost
with him.
everyone in the Howlings, as you know, is named for different characters. So that's why
Right.
different horror icons.
Well,
I mean-
directors who made werewolf movies is what they're
Yeah.
all named after.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Kevin McCarthy's one of those utility actors. He could do anything in any movie. You know, he was so good in this because he was so different, being kind of off kilter and kind of nutty. You know.
yeah.
Ooh.
He's always fun to just, to have a cameo in movies, being his character from the end of Body Snatchers. Anyway, that seems to happen to him a lot in movies where he just kind of just runs in yelling at. Okay, that's
The best was when my parents and they took me to see the remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Donald Sutherland, and when Kevin McCarthy shows up going, "They're here, they're
Yeah.
here," we all like pointed at the screen. We're like, "Oh my god, it's the guy from the original." So funny. And
It's
of
really
course,
He got
Okay,
old
no.
and he's still out there running around. I mean, how long is he going to have to say this message before people start believing him?
He's also in Ghoulies 3. Ghoulies Go to College. I would argue I don't know if it's the best of the Ghoulie movies, but it's pretty funny. He has a cursed EC comic book that he uses to command the Ghoulies. He's Professor Ragnar in that movie. He's also in the movie Mummy, the Patty McCormick kind of sort of sequel to The Bad Seed. He shows up in that movie too. So he's in a lot of like direct-to-video stuff. So I was thinking about the other day how many Kevin McCarthy movies have I seen, and also he shows up in tons of anytime Joe Dante directed stuff, he always got him in it. Like he's in Looney Tunes Back in Action, he's in Inner Space, he's in Matinee. Like he just shows up in a lot of his movies, just in little tiny roles. And I don't know how I could forget. We bring it up on the show all the time. He's in Fast Food, which is another favorite cable movie. He's the judge in Fast Food. I'm sure somebody in the comments would have said something if I didn't mention that, or Hot Dog the movie, or Hamburger the motion picture before the end of the show.
Hamburger the motion picture.
Oh yeah, it's a real
That's
thing.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
was that the sequel to Hot Dog the movie, or was it the other way around?
Hot Dog the movie is about skiing. Hamburger the motion picture is about Hamburger U, a college.
Right.
And yes, Dustin, he's in UHF. That's the last one I didn't get to.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's in that as well. He's in so much stuff, but he's a welcome face. Just as Vivi is. Hello, Vivi. Welcome back to the show.
She's being weird tonight. She jumped up here like she wanted to come on screen, and then she was like, "No, I'm gonna lurk in the frame of the camera." She's shy.
Oh.
Vivian Voorhees. I love that name. And let's not forget Anne Lockhart shows up in this, because when I saw her, I was like, "Oh my god, it's Anne Lockhart." She was
On Battlestar Galactica.
Yes, yeah. And her mother, of course, was June Lockhart, who was the mother on Lost in Space, Maureen. And she was the one that she takes, what's his name, the main character there, Dennis Randall. She brings him to, like, didn't she have a contact, or she had somebody that had information about what was going on, and she kind of hooked him up with them? Right? Hello?
Oh, I don't know.
We shall see as we watch the movie. We'll I haven't watched this since I have a bootleg of this because it's not on Blu-ray. I have the company VHS PS put it out. It's basically a VHS tape dubbed onto with tracking problems and everything dubbed onto DVD. So that's what I have Dark Tower on.
Remember when June Lockhart was living in the attic in Curse of the Black Widow?
Oh, yes.
She was like supposed to have died when her children were young, and yet one of them knew she was still alive and was secreting her in the attic because she had gone crazy after this experience that created this Patty Duke werewolfism where she turned into a giant spider.
Right.
It's a really convoluted plot. I think it's very interesting and a very real study of the emotional challenges of parenthood and being a child.
It has a lot to say about the family unit of the 1970s.
It's a serious film.
Yeah.
It's the sequel.
An important film. Dark Tower, though, this movie's really crazy. I had never seen it either, and I still haven't watched it all the way through. I just been like jumping around in it all week, and boy, I can't wait to put all these pieces together because it looks totally. You said Nightmare City was batshit crazy. This looks like it's right up there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The only thing it's missing from Nightmare City is the scene where people are doing aerobics and get torn to pieces. This is my favorite part of Nightmare City. I get happy every time it happens.
It could happen.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody went away.
Oh no!
Look what it did to our overlay.
We're going. Oh, there we are.
He'll be back. He probably lost connection.
No,
Michael left.
I got the YouTube feed, but there's a lag, so I'm like, no, he's still there.
No, he's not. I hope he comes back. Maybe he got bored.
I'm excited to watch Dark Tower, though. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah. Like I said, I'd never heard of this before. I just happened to stumble across it, and I was like, "Ooh, it looks good."
Since Michael's camera is dark, why don't we go to the drink segment?
All right.
This looks like something you did yourself, Sam. That's
I
exciting.
did, because Becca left on Wednesday.
Right.
So it's lo-fi. I apologize in advance.
Look at these production values. You're using an actual image from the film as the thumbnail.
Yeah. I built a whole channel now for the drinks that you can visit.
I know. I found it.
Yeah, you can come check out the drinks and use them whenever you'd like. Not just the show.
All right. So let's have it.
Here's the next drink. This is the High Rise. It's pretty simple. It's an ounce of Absolute Citron, quarter ounce of Cointreau, 2 ounces of orange juice, about an ounce of sweet and sour mix, and quarter ounce of grenadine. Becca's out of town, as I said maybe before. You heard, on vacation, so I'm doing this myself, so it's not as well produced, but the drink's going to taste great. That's the important thing, right? So sometimes it's better to look good than to feel good, as they say. So let's start with an ounce of the Absolute Citron. This is for the movie Dark Tower, which was sold in some territories as a sequel to Demons. Makes sense if you've seen Demons 2, but not really, because there's not really... It's like more psychic stuff than Demons. I don't know. You know what? If you can sell a movie, no matter what you got to sell it under, sell it. So we do a quarter ounce of Cointreau, which is getting super low. 2 ounces of orange juice. That's making this a healthy drink. This is going to boost my immunity and yours so that we're completely ready for this Dark Tower that we're about to go in. And I know I said shaved ice for the recipe. I got all excited last week because I actually had shaved ice in Pittsburgh's north side. You can use crushed ice. You can use regular ice. Honestly, you can do whatever you'd like. It's a very democratic drink. We're going to do an ounce of what is it? I always say sweet and sour mix. Not sweet and sour sauce. Sweet and sour mix. I made that same joke on the other video. You know what? It's probably just as funny this time. Whether or not you found it funny, it's going to work the same amount. And then about a quarter ounce of our wonderful grenadine. And that's going to color up the drink. So it's kind of like a tequila sunrise, but with different stuff in it. So anyway, you can stir it if you want. I'm not going to stir it. I'm just going to straight up drink it like this. Pazuzu. That's just right. I'm really enjoying this. I'm excited to watch Dark Tower with you. See you guys in a little bit.
Pazuzu to Yuzu.
Pazuzu.
And here comes Michael. He's been waiting in the wings. Welcome back, Michael.
Hi.
We lost you there.
Yeah, I decided to reboot my computer, restart my computer to see if it would resolve the sound issues, and it actually seems much better now.
Nice.
Oh, good. There weren't any issues on
Maybe
our end with
not
your
100%
sound.
still, but
We didn't have any issues with your sound.
yeah, I don't know what. I never have this problem. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It like sounds fine for a couple minutes, and then it goes to like half volume, where I have to like strain to hear what you guys are saying.
Well, I went off brand with my drink. I was going to do my own thing and just, I got some more Malibu today because I was out. I restocked my vodka and I was going to mix it with Midori and add Sprite. And I was looking in my bar here that's right in front of me, and there's no Midori in there. So it turned into just sort of like, it's vodka, it's Malibu, it's Sprite, you know.
I think Vivian's been getting into the Midori.
I told her, just leave the empty bottle there so I know it's gone. Don't hide it so that I don't know we're out till it's too late.
So, yeah, I had to go against protocol myself because, Sam, that drink looks awesome, but I have diabetes and it's way too much sugar in that. I can't even have orange juice. So I've got a sugar-free Monster drink with cheap-ass vodka. So Pazuzu.
Cheers. Yes.
I was not prepared for the alcohol aspect at all, so I don't have anything alcoholic.
Well, now you have time during the movie to go get one.
I used to have like iced coffee or something.
I'm gonna messenger you a drink.
Oh, thank you.
If your doorbell rings in the next 10 minutes, please answer it. It's your beverage.
What's really
thanks.
we should point out that My-Kill, you're in Hawaii, so you're like it's like the middle of the day for you, whereas it's like late.
It's like 2:40 p.m. basically. Yeah.
Wow, where are you in Hawaii? Hopefully not Maui.
No, in Honolulu. Maui's actually like 100 miles away from Oahu. So lots of people like messaging me, you know, like the last couple of weeks. Are you okay? Are you close to it? But no, yeah, it is horrible. I just can't, you know. Anyway, I can't. I never. When I first heard there were fires, I was like, oh damn. Well, you know, I didn't expect it to turn into this giant like disaster.
Yeah.
It's like flat.
Nobody did apparently.
Actually, a little bit concerned that some. Anyway, but because there's big chemical companies doing a lot of pesticide testing and stuff on Kauai, which is one of the other islands, and I'm hoping that company like that doesn't buy the land, you know, on Maui as well, and try to you know, can spread out their activities onto another one of the islands, because that would really suck, because obviously everything's destroyed, so it might seem like an opportunity to them, you know.
You still owe me a picture of the Hawaii 5-0 statue, Mike.
I still don't know what the fuck statue you're talking about. You keep saying the Hawaii 5-0 statue. I'm like, you mean this one? You're like, no, not that one. You mean this one? No, not that one. Or, well, I'm out. I don't know what is the Hawaii 5-0 statue.
Sam, I left you on mute. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm enjoying the conversation.
A statue of Hawaii 5-0, or is it a statue that appears in Hawaii 5-0?
It's the statue in front of the fictional Hawaii 5-0, like the building where they work out of. I'll have to send you a picture.
It must be King Kamehameha.
He's like blue with a golden cape and a golden headdress, I think. Been a while.
Yeah, that's King Kamehameha. Okay, yeah, he's in the yeah, I know where he is now. He's near like the town. Okay. Oh, that one. Okay. Because there's a few different like famous ones, but I and more than one of them has their arms out because people hang like flowered leis and everything on them on special days.
Oh yeah.
But I just wasn't sure exactly which one you meant. I was like, what is he talking about? What's the? I should have gone back and looked at the intro to figure it out on my own. But
the reason it stuck in my head is because of and I still have it. My old Viewmaster. I had a Viewmaster. I have a Viewmaster set that was Hawaii 5-0 from one of the episodes, and that was one of the pictures in it. So I always had that stuck in my head since I was like 5.
I've done lectures on King Kamehameha actually at my school.
Oh, nice.
Everybody says, "Oh, he was the one who united the islands." I'm like, yeah, he did it by killing like thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And then, you know, but nobody says that. Everyone just says, "Oh, he brought us together." Like, yeah, he did. Anyway, it's a whole big. That's a totally unrelated topic. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Got off on a tangent there. Oh, I heard a bark. Who's got a Dougie?
So I'm just curious, Bill and Sam, when did you guys first see this movie?
Yeah. Well,
Sam.
Bill said he'd never seen it, right?
Yeah, I had never seen it until this week. I've just been kind of skipping around in it. I haven't actually watched it completely through.
It's a video rental era for me. Like, I was just writing something today about it. It's like literally if a movie came into our video store with the green horror sticker on it, I had to rent it. Whatever it was, I wasn't even looking to see what it was about. I was just trying to see everything. So I definitely saw it in the 80s at some point.
Nice.
So there's no ad campaign to show, but here's the VHS.
That's a pretty cool cover.
It's scary.
Oh wow.
It's a nightmare.
It makes it look like the Screaming Skull.
Screaming Skull.
Screaming Skull with weird wispy tentacle worm things coming out.
Remember how the Screaming Skull sort of became disembodied and was floating through the air towards the camera?
I just went to get my bootleg of it. Yeah, I have
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
A DVD bootleg of it. They just made it look like redid the VHS art for the. But yeah, it's not. That's what I love about Tubi. There's a lot of stuff on Tubi that never came out on Blu-ray. That's up on there that you can find, and obviously it could easily be ported over to Blu-ray because it looks HD. So
I never realized, some of these free channels like, Freevee and Tubi and whatnot that says with ads. And I was always like, I don't want to watch ads. And then
Yeah.
I started kind of doing Fright Lounge with Roger. He's like, here, watch this. It's on Tubi. And I was like, I don't want to deal with the ads. He's like, they're not that bad, actually. And they're not. I love it. It tells you when the ad is coming up. It shows you, how much longer you have until it ends. It's beautiful.
yeah.
Not bad.
And there's a lot of stuff on there that isn't, like I said, like the Italian movie Endgame was on Tubi for like 2 years before Severin put it out. So it's exciting. You can kind of, anything Severin puts out about 4 to 6 months later shows up. Like the Italian Gothic box set, most of those new prints are showing up on Tubi now. So it's pretty exciting.
I'm not seeing this. Well, through the show, watching movies I've never seen. But even when I go onto the Tubi and I start typing in the search engine, all this stuff pops up, and I'm like, "Ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that?"
I have a non-ending list of like. I always try to call down my list on Tubi of what's next, and it's just always more stuff.
Yeah,
getting put in there.
You could just sit there all day.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's what I did today. Because back is out here, I just watched movies all day and wrote about them. It was my dream day.
yeah.
Re-Gor, you had some articles that you looked up about Dark Tower. Is there any info from there that you want to share with us?
Me?
No, I was asking
Oh.
Re-Gor.
I thought I had more than I did. I had one that was sort of just an announcement of the video release. It was among other videos, like they had horror and sci-fi, like The Bronx Executioner in 1986 and Urban Warriors from '87. This basically, it gives the plot synopsis. A beautiful young architect encounters a deadly presence that threatens to devour a skyscraper and everyone in it, as this frightening tale of supernatural suspense delves into, and I'm not going to say the rest because I think people should watch the movie. But the retail price for the video was $79.98. Do you guys remember when those were that expensive?
Yes.
Yeah, there weren't sell-throughs back then. It was all video store.
Yeah.
By the way, David in the chat brings up, and it is true. This is out. Vinegar Syndrome did put this out. And I know that because Chip LeMay posted a picture of the poster from it. Also, Bill, we should call it. It is his wife's birthday this weekend.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, K-Ran.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, so hope
Happy
you're enjoying
birthday
watching
to
Dark
you.
Tower, and you guys have the poster up I saw, so I'm excited.
We had another birthday this week, too. Yesterday was AC Nicholas's birthday.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So happy birthday, AC Nicholas. Any birthday messages that you want to send them care of Chris Fisonic.
Yeah.
So it was his birthday, too, by the way. Happy birthday, Chris. And
That's
AC
crazy.
Nicholas.
What a coincidence.
I know.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank
I
you,
just
Tony.
wanted one quick thing.
Know of any? Go ahead.
Sorry. When I watched the trailer for this, before I watched the movie, I thought the scientist with the beard was Severin Darden. I'm like, oh, Severin Darden's in this. No, he wasn't. I think it was Theodore Bickle. I mean,
Yeah.
But Mike, you might remember Severin Darden. He was one of the aliens in the Bionic Man episode with the Bigfoot.
Oh, you know what? When I watch it again, I'll have to look really more carefully at the cast.
Yeah, he's got this
I didn't-
distinct voice.
Okay. I didn't catch it this time. But I have been rewatching the $6 Million Man series, so you would think I would be picking up on this stuff, but I guess not. Although, to be fair, it's taken me like over a year of like 2 episodes every Saturday. I'm in the final season now.
He did a little bit though.
That's good. I like doing projects like that.
Guys
It's fun to,
on General Hospital, you know.
yeah. It's like Bill and I have talked about, hey, I should do Dark Shadows. Watch it every day. And I'm like, oh, I'd never get through it.
No, don't.
Yeah.
Ooh, Terror in the Isles.
Yeah. There's no ad gallery to look at for Dark Tower, so I'll just share some ads that recently ran on the Groovy Doom Facebook page, including this one, Terror in the Isles. I just watched this yesterday for the first time since I first saw it on HBO. And I don't know. It was just kind of eh.
Well, it's a clip movie. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah. It was like watching YouTube all day.
Right.
Well, for 82 minutes. It's not a long movie either.
Yeah.
I think though back then we didn't have YouTube and we couldn't, you know, get stuff to come up like that. So you know, that was the joy of that movie back then. And also you got to get a little bit more Donald Pleasance talking to you.
It was Donald Pleasance and what's her name from RoboCop? Nancy
It was
Allen.
Nancy Allen.
Yeah. From RoboCop. How dare you? She's from Dressed to Kill.
I knew you said that.
Blowout.
That's right. Nighthawks is highly spotlighted in the movie too.
There's a lot from Nighthawks in it, and also Clute.
Oh
which I
yeah.
never really thought of as a horror film, but you know, there's scary stuff that happens in it, especially, you know, if you're a hooker. Not that I'm making any accusations.
Oh, this is a Sam double feature here.
Yeah, this is just mind blowing. But these two movies did play together because they were both unrated. So
yeah, I love the tagline. You should have believed.
No matter what this ad says, this claims they're rated R. They were not. You were not supposed to be able to get into this if you were under 18 at all.
Both those taglines are great. The handwritten $6 per carload is great. This everything about this bill. This is like the most magical night out ever.
Yeah. I love the like old like hyperbolic slogans they would use, like talking directly to the people who were going to see the movie. Like, it's everything you've ever feared. You've never seen anything like this.
You should have believed.
Stayed home. Yeah.
I'm wearing a Pieces shirt tonight, which has the best one of those. It's exactly what you think it is. Is the great tagline for Pieces.
No beating around the bush. It is exactly what you think it is.
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna get you in the end, ghoulies.
Oh, no.
Get you in the end.
Look out, Olivia Benson. It's ghoulies.
I like that.
And Police Academy 2, the more family-friendly side of Police Academy. That's a double feature. I probably would have seen this. I definitely saw Police Academy 1 and 3 at the drive-in. I also spent way too much money on the Police Academy DVD sets before they suddenly came back out on Blu-ray. But whatever. I can admit it.
Police Academy 2 is one of those movies I still quote to this day, and I love Bob Goldthwait in it. You know?
Oh, he's wonderful. My favorite thing in this whole ad is Keith Joe Dick, which is a great name.
It had to be said. And Jennifer herself, Lisa Pelican.
Yeah.
She was Jennifer, like that Carrie ripoff with snakes.
Yes.
I love that, man. I love Jennifer. Here's an awesome double.
Mad. Oh.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Paul, there are 4 Ghoulies movies if you want to get into the full Ghoulies world. I saw you said you hadn't seen the sequel. There's 4. They're all out there for you. The second one just came out from MVD this week on Blu-ray.
Oh, nice. I have to admit, I never saw Mad Max in the theater. I didn't know it existed until my parents and I went to see The Road Warrior, and they sort of did a flashback at the beginning to this movie, and I was like, wait a minute. There's another movie out there somewhere, and I don't know how I found it, but eventually I figured out that Mad Max was the first one and Road Warrior was the second one.
Yeah. And it's Road Warriors even called Mad Max 2 in a few territories. Or no, the other way around. Road Warriors 2. Yeah.
I'm ashamed to say that I never saw either of these movies in the theater. Terminator I watched on video and it's like Roger. I mean, I think I became like a movie fanatic a little bit later than Roger. Roger was already there, but I was completely unaware of a lot of these movies, and I was hanging out with a friend of mine once. I don't even know what year it was, whatever. And he said something about the Terminator, and I was like, well, what are you talking about, the Terminator? He goes, you haven't seen the Terminator? And I was like, no. He's like, all right, come here right now. we went into his living room, and he pulled it up and watched it, and then I'm like, holy shit, that was awesome. I can't believe I'd never seen that. He's like, neither can I.
Arnold.
And Aliens. I never saw Aliens on the big screen either.
Oh my god.
Oh. I went back like 3 times.
Yeah. I was in high school, and like everybody was saying, you gotta go see this, And it was one of those weird, teenager brain moments where I was like, I'm so sick of everybody saying go see it that I'm just not going to see it because based on that principle. And then when I finally saw it, I was like, fuck, I should have gone to the theater.
Yeah, that was your loss.
I'm an idiot.
Night Patrol. Bill, this I can spoil. This will be up on the site in September for USA Up All Night month. This is a USA Up All Night movie.
Directed by Jackie Kong.
Yep, and it's got the Unknown Comic in it. And
No way.
yeah, it's one of two movies that he's in with Linda Blair.
J.P. Morgan.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It is about him being the Unknown Comic, and there's also a criminal using the Unknown Comic to be to pull off crimes. Yeah, is it Jackie Kong's best movie? Maybe.
I thought he was going to say no, but
Yeah. She and you know who she used to date, Bill. She dated Bill Osco of what do you call it? Of The Dark.
Well, he's in this movie too.
Yeah. Yep.
In
sure.
Night Patrol.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that just a little bit of J.P. Morgan is enough to change a person forever.
Just bums you out of the Gong Show.
Yeah. She's nude in the Gong Show movie for 2
oh
seconds.
my God, Tom Selleck Runaway.
I used
This is
movie, Mike.
an HBO
Oh.
movie for me as a kid.
Crap.
And don't forget, Gene Simmons is the bad guy in it.
Gene
Why-
Simmons. This is one
Why
of
is
the.
Gene not getting in the ads? You would think he would be a bigger deal to people.
Oh, I'm glad he wasn't in the ads. I hate Gene Simmons, although I
Oh.
love him in this movie.
Yeah.
I think he's just loathsome. I think
Oh,
he's
he
like
is.
a lizard person.
He's no Paul Stanley. Why are you talking bad about Gene?
I love Paul. I hate Gene.
Yeah. That's
I
my
even-
friend.
I love Ace and Peter
Yeah.
Criss before
Yeah.
I love Gene.
Well, I love that Santa got into this ad, though. By the way, look who's coming after Runaway.
Oh God.
Santa's hat is like phallically long and disturbing. It's like some kind of Lovecraftian.
It's a phallic
monster.
symbol.
Look how long that thing
It's
comes
got
out.
looks
that
like
bend
a-
in it.
Yeah.
Like a whale penis. You know how they're like
Yeah, a cat
Tapered.
penis maybe.
Yeah.
It's got that bend in it, like those commercials on TV. They're like, if you have a bend in your erection,
Did you? Yeah. Did you ever see the documentary Blackfish about the killer whales at SeaWorld and stuff?
We watched Jaws 3 last week, but no.
yeah, we did.
That was close.
Yeah, there's a scene, just real quick, there's a scene in it where they're talking about how they kept this one big male orca named Tilikum because they needed a breeder and they were using him for breeding. And they show a scene of the trainers basically jerking him off into a container so that they can use his sperm for breeding. It's fucking bizarre.
Ew.
That's
He's, like,
exciting
lying
for
on his
somebody, I'm
back.
sure.
Yeah, he's lying on his back and his dick is like the length of his arm. And they're like two people holding it and one person like rubbing it. And then it's so bizarre. And I'm like, why is this in the movie? Like, why are they focusing on this?
There was a scene like that in Runaway too. Remember when
Yeah.
they milked Tom Selleck?
What?
Yeah. They unsheathed him and milked him. It's amazing.
It
Shut
turned
up.
out his sperm was the only sperm that could fight the robots created
Yeah.
by Gene Simmons.
There's a point of view shot of the sperm flying out of him, too, just like the gun. That's maybe a cut that's not on every version of Runaway. It's special.
It
version
moved
for
through the
it.
air to find you.
Yeah.
Yes. It's just it's so limited edition that nobody has it. This is too
Yeah.
Kirstie Alley's in this too. And I
obscure
love
and-
Kirstie Alley in this movie.
Yeah.
I think she's really
in there?
yeah.
Yeah. And those little robot creatures reminded me of what's the Peter Weller movie? Screaming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cynthia Rhodes. We
Yeah.
have to mention Cynthia Rhodes, who had a very all too brief career in films. I think she's best in Runaway. I love her best in this. She was in Staying Alive.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
I'm like the only person in the country that loves that movie.
No, you're
I
not.
thought Runaway was going to be a much bigger movie. I think
My
Tom
hair.
Selleck
He
did,
hits
too.
my hair.
It was. It's a Michael Crichton movie.
Yeah.
Notice I didn't say Michael Crichton. I've learned my lesson.
Christian, yes.
Yeah,
You never said Michael Crichton.
I did. When I was young, I was like, "Mom, look, it's a Michael Crichton movie," and she smacked me. She said, "It's Michael Crichton."
Cynthia
Learn.
Rhodes, she was the lead singer in Animotion.
Oh,
way!
they sang Obsession, the
Well-
theme song for Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah, that wasn't her though. I mean,
Oh.
she joined after that lead singer quit, and Animotion never had another big hit. So she
Nah.
sort of like obviously she left that career, and she got married to Richard Marx.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
My
Right
God.
Here Waiting, Richard Marx.
Yeah, he was right there waiting for
Too
her.
late to say goodbye, Richard Marx.
Yeah.
They got married, and she quit everything and had a family.
Satisfied, Richard Marx.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mullet, Richard Marx.
Oh.
He's an unforgettable mullet.
Remember he had that concept album about that town Hazard or whatever? That was like another.
Remember
That's
that.
what the last Richard Marx I remember.
I was never a Richard Marx fan, so I don't know.
Uh,
Chris, these are lies you're stating about Richard Marx. Richard Marx is a decent family man.
He cheated on it.
Richard Marx would never even look at another woman other than Cynthia Rhodes, although they did get divorced in 2014.
he's
So-
married to someone else pretty well known now. Oh, Daisy Fuentes. That's who he's married to now.
Oh wow.
Of MTV fame.
Jay.
Yeah.
Wow.
MTV fame.
He's also one of the Marx brothers, the old toy company.
Oh, let's call Richard Marx. Steve Wilson has his home phone number.
Yeah. Hey,
He's
Richard
a
Marx.
Marxist.
Why did you cheat on Cynthia Rose, you motherfucker?
Yeah, what
And then we
the
hang
fuck,
up.
dude?
Yeah, then we hang up.
Why
Put
would-
Daisy on the phone.
No.
Yeah, people who are Marxists are just diehard Richard
Yeah.
Marx.
Oh,
People get them confused all the time. Causes all kinds of confusion. Children of the Corn.
wow.
Nice. I would get up and leave during Breathless, but I would stay for the other three.
Oh.
Well, no, this was 2 screens, so they were 2 double features.
Oh, okay.
Well, Up the Creek and Breathless is the dumbest double. I love that double feature. That is ridiculous. Like, what is the crossover audience, if anything, for those two?
They were
movies?
both Orion Pictures released.
Yeah, they were, and they're both like, hey, first you got to get wet, and then Breathless will blow you dry. That's-
Holy shit.
and then, Bill, you can guess which one of these 4 movies I would like the most.
Oh, it's got to be Angel.
Angel.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
Angel's the best thing on these screens, and
Yeah.
I really am not a fan of Children of the Corn. Sorry,
No.
fans. But this was U of M grad Steve King's latest movie and banger.
it was. Yep.
Yeah.
He may be in the car next to you at Up the Creek. He's wet. He's set.
Is Up the Creek the one where Tim Matheson is sort of narrating his life as he's going through? He's like, so then he walked over to the chick and eyeballed her up and down.
I don't know. I was thinking it was Up the Academy, the Mad Magazine movie, for a second, which is a movie so bad that Mad Magazine apologized for it in the magazine.
Okay. I'm gonna thought about it. Moving on. I'm censoring myself. That's okay. Because it's with good reason.
Children of the Corn on the Cob.
David Assassino. Wow, that's a cool name.
Isn't it though?
Assassin with an O.
David's a regular.
Yeah,
Don't fuck with me. I'll assassinate you.
that's
Sorry.
really
I'm
his
sorry.
picture. He looks
I'm
just
probably-
like Bob.
Yeah, that he was
Oh.
Bob from House by the Cemetery.
I'm so
He
sorry
was.
because I know people probably make that comment about your name all the fucking time. I apologize. This is the first time I've seen it. My last name is Kitty, so if that gives you any I don't know.
You have your own stories, I'm sure.
yeah. But I know I actually admire that name. I think it's fucking cool as hell.
I'd take that name any day,
I know, right?
which means I'd marry you, Dave.
Wow.
It's the only way he can get the name.
SNS
Come on, bring it on.
enough.
Let's go. Let's go to
Ass,
Vegas.
ass,
Excuse me.
Let's
ass,
go to
ass.
Vegas and do
Oh.
it. Um,
Darren is blaming Richard Gere for
I have to
making him
stop.
gay, so that's good. We've learned some things, and we've learned a lot just from those ad mounts, bro, about everybody.
What's wrong with Richard Gere? I missed it.
Oh no, that's Darren said that's when he realized he was gay. It was from Richard Gere and Breathless. So
Oh, I see. Huh.
Yeah.
Richard Gere.
yeah,
I
full
guess,
frontal.
like that was. I used to watch movies based on whether I thought there would be male full frontal in it, because female full frontal, you guys had it so great. There
all
were
the time.
so many movies like that. You could see a naked lady, but if you wanted to see a naked dude, it was hard. No pun intended.
Yeah.
And even when they did show a naked dude, it was like a body double, like, and it was for a half a second, like there was no.
Who
Yeah.
would do such a
It's
thing?
like when Bruce Willis is in Color of Night, and everybody came unglued because you could see his dong in the pool for a second.
Yeah. And then what Boogie Nights with Wahlberg, and there was this
Yeah.
big people saying at the end, was that his real dick or was it fake? Did they add a prosthetic?
K&B actually made that dick. That's what's hilarious.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah,
Industrial Light and Magic made it.
yeah.
Industrial. That was a pretty good movie. Weird movie, but yeah.
So what's the Wahlberg movie I finally saw recently? Oh, Ted. I had never seen Ted before.
I just
Oh,
saw
I
it
saw
recently
Ted.
too.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I saw
That's
Ted
good.
at the
I liked it.
drive-in.
Oh, good. It was what?
I saw Ted at the drive-in with one of those, like, I think Brian De Palma made a mob movie about drug dealers, assassins, or something like that.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I forget what it was called. It was boring.
Yeah, I thought I avoided Ted because I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, a talking teddy bear. But then when I watched it, I was like, oh, this is really actually like written pretty well and funny and clever, you know.
Yeah, I was surprised. It was one of those movies that I kind of wanted to see it, but like you said, Talking Teddy Bear kind of put it lower on my list. And then
Yeah.
for some reason, I just happened to turn it on recently. I'll bet you were watching it at the same time.
I know. So we've had synchronous experiences like that before.
Oh,
Like the time we both went to the same restaurant on the same night at the same time to get the same thing.
Right.
Because neither of us was doing anything, and we just both had the craving for that particular sub from that particular place, and we both got there like at the same time. We got out of our cars at almost the same time. We were looking at each other. What are you doing? I'm going to get a sub. Oh, what else are you doing? Nothing. You want to hang out and watch movies? Yeah. It was just like,
whoa.
what are the odds of that exact? You know, it was bizarre. Bizarre.
Bizarre. Yeah, we're from New England. We don't pronounce our R's.
From Boston originally, unless we're putting an I in a word that it doesn't belong in, like idea.
The one time I finally recognized it in myself was I was leaving a message for a lady whose name was Brenda, and I go, "Hey Brenda, it's Raja. I got this, that, and the other thing." And
Yeah.
oh, Brenda, Raja.
Raja.
Come here, over here.
Might be another for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty good about it, but it comes out once in a while. I keep it.
One question, Bill, before we go into the movies.
Yes.
See that the reel is up. Is anyone in the chat not seen this movie before we start? Are there any virgins to the Dark Tower?
Virgins, Dark Tower, virgins.
Yeah.
I think everybody hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
I don't
We're all
know.
going to go through it together. We're all going to be changed together. Come out on the other side.
I like these experiences, though.
Yeah.
I love doing movies that I've never seen on the show, because then you get like the raw experience after
Yeah.
you see it.
The unfiltered.
Yeah, just want to say in the comments, Darren posted South Boston in the house. Woohoo! My uncle and my uncle and his wife live in Southeast. So
Yes, this is not the Milton Bradley board game Dark Tower. We're not going to watch somebody play the board game Dark Tower for an hour.
Nor is it the Stephen King.
No.
right.
Yeah. Speaking of U of M grad Steve King,
Yeah,
it's
Steve
not his
King's-
book.
Yeah. This is Ken Wiederhorn's Dark Tower. It would be great if they put it. I like when people get to the level like Steve King where they can say Steve King's, name a movie. That's when you know you've made it.
Right.
Do you think Master of Horror Mick Garris calls him Steve?
No, I think he calls him Steve. He calls him whatever he is allowed to call him.
Right, Mr. King.
Yeah. Master of Horror Mick Garris. You have to use his full name when you say his name.
Well, they're good. I mean, they're good friends.
They're good
so
friends, Matt. U of M grad Steve King and Master of Horror.
He
Mick
probably
Garris.
calls him Steve.
He might.
I saw Mick Garris at a lecture he gave in I think Boston University or something like back in the 90s, which was interesting. I think it was around the time he was directing the oh my god, what's the giant Stephen King book that they made into a multi-part TV
The
movie?
Stand?
The Stand, yeah.
Stand, yeah.
My wife's actually going to see some of the sets from that because a lot of that was shot in the desert in Utah out there. And the car. That's another place that she's getting some pictures from.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What if she heard that horn while she was there?
Well, she's never seen the car, so she won't know.
If
She
I lived
refuses to
there,
watch it.
oh yeah,
So she's in
know.
danger right now.
If I lived near there, I would record that horn, and I'd just every once in a while play it really loud.
Yeah. She'd be like, oh, this car kept driving past us making this noise. I'm like, you got to meet the car, and you didn't. Like, she'd be like, yeah, I guess. Come on. So that's my goal. My hair goals right now is to have Master of Horror Mick Garris hair. It's still got some brown in it. I need to get to where it's completely white, and then I'll wear it down all the time.
That comes out of a bottle.
Yeah, it does, I think, yeah.
Master of Horror Mick Garris's hair probably looks like yours unless he gives it some.
He uses that purple stuff that my wife has to keep her hair that color. By the way, if you guys see any pictures of Becca, no longer blonde. It's kind of shocking. She's like bright red now.
Mick Garris kind of has a Edgar Winter group
He
thing
does
going
have
with his
yeah.
hair.
Oh.
They only come out at night.
Master of Rock, Edgar Winter.
Yes. I was so pissed. I went to see Alice Cooper and Deep Purple, and Edgar Winter Group was the first band on, and I missed it. I really wanted to see the Edgar Winter Group and just to experience Edgar Winter Group for one time in my life. And they were doing Frankenstein when we walked up. I was like, oh,
that's the only song they do. They come out and do like a 40-minute version of it.
Yeah. Died.
That's what they got. They just like, that's all you. We got 25 minutes. Here's Frankenstein.
They did 5 songs, and then they did an encore of Free Ride and Frankenstein that were like 20 minutes long.
Oh my god!
Wow. I like when bands. I've only seen it happen a couple of times when bands don't have many well-known songs and they open and close with the same song. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Venom did that. They opened and closed with black metal, and I was like, that's fucking awesome. Like, that's every band should do that.
Like, you almost have to open with it because it's the one everybody's waiting for, and then you want to leave everybody with a good memory of what you just did, so you play it again.
Yeah, they're like, hey, did you guys like it when we opened with that one? Like, yeah, here it is again. Like, yes,
here it is again.
Yeah,
I don't know what this reel is gonna say. It might say second feature.
Oh.
Okay, so don't be fooled if it says second feature. That was just me when I put the show together this week, not knowing what movie we were going to do first, and I forgot all about this thing.
I got to tell Steve Wilson that's really funny. I love that I should play Jay Massis in the Dinosaur Jr.
Dinosaur Jr.
I am not insulted by that. I think that's great. I'll just do my cover and keep chopping. It'll be good.
Anything goes on tonight's show.
Yeah, like
and
a
we
Guns
hope
N' Roses song that gets me sick.
We hope our special guests will
That's
be
where
back.
I got COVID from. I love Guns N' Roses. That's where I got COVID.
I just want to answer a question here that we got on YouTube. Someone addressed to me, Darren, asked if part of the Edgar Winter's Frankenstein was in the Creature Double feature opening in Boston. And no, it wasn't. It was Brain Salad. I'm sorry, it was Toccata on the Brain Salad Surgery album by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. That's the famous Creature Double feature theme. Took me years to find that, so that's how I know it.
I can still hear the music in my head when you say Creature Double feature. Yeah. And then they would show the creatures, and they would do like that photo negative thing to make it look even.
Make sure you come back on the second segment. We're going to have Claudia Simpson from the Stolen Stitches is going to do a spectacular stunt. But go watch Dark Tower in the meantime. The link is on Groovy Doom, and we'll be here after it's over with another live segment. See you then.